Hi teens, I'm Miss Abby, your Teen Services Librarian for the Slidell branches of the San Tammany Parish Library. And today we're going to make the locker magnets from your August teen tote. Before we get started, let's go over what our teen totes are. So we have two teen totes. One of them is our book subscription tote for teens 12 to 18, which is free from the San Tammany Parish Library. You register between the 1st and the 15th of one month to receive between the 1st and the 15th of the following month. When you go to register online, it'll ask you to choose between two themes for that month. And when you pick up your tote, it will have two library books that fit that theme for you to check out, as well as some snacks, some swag, and some fun things to do. Our second tote is the Arts and Crafts tote, which if you are not participating from the Arts and Crafts tote today, the supplies we're going to go over is easy to pick up. But if you do have your tote, then everything is in it. And that tote will have two crafts that are advertised ahead of time. So when you go to register for the Arts and Crafts tote between the 15th and 30th of one month to receive between the 15th and the 30th of the following month, you will be able to see what crafts you are signing up for. This month was locker magnets and Mod Podge notebooks. All right, before we get started, let's go over what we need to make our locker magnets. So in your Arts and Crafts subscription tote, you will find a container of Mod Podge, a brush for the Mod Podge. This was also for the notebook, so there's plenty of Mod Podge to make your magnets in your notebook. You will need a pencil, and you will need a pair of scissors. Those are not included in your tote. You will find some glass marbles, some magnets, paper. You can also use magazines or any scrapbook paper that you have, and instructions on how to do the bookmarks. The locker magnets, excuse me. Okay, so I have removed everything but the glue because mine leaked a little bit, so I don't want to put it on my table. I put a piece of wax paper down, and you're welcome to do that at home, or even a paper plate works wonderfully. That keeps your glue from going everywhere and makes it an easy cleanup for later, and it gives you a great way to move your magnets if you have to move them off the table or wherever you made them for dinner or whatnot. So we have these wonderful selection of colors and materials to make your locker magnet from. I am kind of on a Lisa Frank kick, so I'm going to go with this one rainbow cheetah print, and I'm going to use my marble to find the best pattern or what I love the most. And if you're looking at your marble, you're going to see that whatever image is magnified a little bit by the glass. So let's see, we're going to try to get as much color as we can. Maybe right here, and I can make another one if I want to. There's plenty of room. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to trace along the outside of the marble. And that's going to show me where to cut. And I'm going to cut within the pencil, so I'm not going to worry about it showing. But you can also just flip it over and cut whatever design. So if you don't care what part of flowers you get, just flip the paper over so you don't see the pencil. I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut just within the pencil mark so that the pencil isn't seen, because it will magnify a little bit from the glass, as we were able to see when we found our pattern. Let's see. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's one of the wonderful things about these marbles. You can kind of have fun, be a little wonky if you want. So now that I have my image, I am going to take a little bit of glue. My glue kind of spilled everywhere, so it's kind of glued itself together. Oh, that's why there's a little crack in the side. Let's see. Got a little squished. going to open it up pretty carefully. I'm going to try to keep my hands as clean as possible. And I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to dab it in the glue because I don't need a ton. But it's okay if you put a little extra on. It might look a little white or cloudy at first, but once it dries, it will look just fine. So I'm going to take my glue-covered image, get a nice layer on it, try to keep it nice and even, and I'm going to glue it to the bottom of the marble, so the flat side of the marble. Got a little glue on top, accidentally, but once it dries, I'll be able to flake it off or just wash it off real quick with some little bit of soap and water, a very lightly damp rag so I don't accidentally get it on the paper underneath. Looks like most of it's coming off now. And if you happen to get a few white spots, just push on that image and it's going to push that glue out a little bit and make it a little clearer. And once it dries, it'll be nice and clear too. There's my marble. So now I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to make sure not to put it where I just put glue. And I'm going to take my magnet and peel off the paper backing so I have a nice adhesive side. You can also put a little glue on it once you remove the backing if you just want to make sure it sticks really well. This is enough, but I do have some right here on this paper, so I'm going to go ahead, throw that in there. And I'm going to try to make it as even as possible before I put it down because it's going to be really hard to move it without moving the paper. So now I have my marble. And that's it. That's how you make a locker magnet. Let's see if we can make one more. Ooh, I really like these rainbow stars. Let's see if you can. How pretty. Let's see. Oh, that's going to be really pretty. Yeah, I really like this one. So I kind of want to be surprised. So I'm just gonna, I can kind of see where some stars are. So I'm gonna pop it down where there's a good population of stars. And I'm gonna do the same thing I did before and just trace outside of my marble so I have a rough size. And this doesn't have to be perfect because I'm on the outside of the paper. I'm on the back side of the paper. So you're not gonna be able to see the pencil mark anyway. So I'm just going to go around and cut my shape out. And that's it. Put that to the side. And once again, I'm going to take my brush and lightly do a thing of glue. And again, if you do too much glue, you're just going to press on the bottom of the paper to push that glue out so it doesn't look cloudy. And once it dries, it should dry clear. My stars. And then we're going to take our magnet just as we did before. And I added a little bit of Mod Podge to the sticky side of the magnet. Be sure to do it to the sticky side of the magnet, not this plain side. I'm going to push that down, make sure I get the glue nice and adhered. And these magnets don't necessarily need the glue. I just have it, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. Ooh, and then I'm going to drop the marble right into the glue on accident. Don't do that, guys. But again, if you do that on accident, once it dries, you'll be able to flake it off the top. Use a nice, lightly damp cloth to remove the glue, and it'll come off just fine. All right, so those are my two magnets. Look at the avocado paper, too. So you have enough to make 3. And if you happen to want to make a ton more, all this supplies is easy to get from the craft store. If you didn't get an Arts Crafts tote, again, You can get all the supplies from the craft store and make these all at home. Thank you for joining me to make our DIY locker magnets, my little Lisa Frank and my stars. I had a lot of fun doing these, and you can keep making them forever if you'd like, but you have enough to make 3 magnets from the library. But you can use old book pages where the words are, because they'll magnify a little bit and you'll be able to read them better. You could do magazine paper or really any image that you like. We use scrapbook paper a lot too. These pictures are included in your, or some variation of these pictures are included in your teen tote. So have fun, play around, pick the images you love the most. Can't wait to see your locker magnets. You can email us your photos at teens@stpl.us, and we will post them on our website. And you can check out our other crafts as well that we've done in previous subscription totes on our website as well. Bye. Thanks for joining me.